Association is on a drive to increase awareness and empower individuals about diabetes. Today is observed as World Diabetes Day under the theme Breaking Barriers, Bridging Gaps.
This year, the focus has been on diabetes and wellness, but more specifically, empowered and united against diabetes. Basically, what we're trying to say is that we need to be empowered. Diabetics need to be empowered. People who take care of diabetics need to be empowered. And we need to be united against that fight. We are currently at a rank of 4 in terms of the chronic non-communicable diseases. Complications of diabetes remains the 4th major cause of death in Dominica. That is of major concern to us. There have been some other statistics from the World Bank that have also indicated that we have a population of at least 12% of our population suffers from diabetes. And so we know that with the lifestyles that we've been seeing, the habits relating to diet, obesity, lack of exercise, or particularly regular exercises, that these are major risk factors for the spike that we're seeing with diabetes. The Dominica Diabetes Association is very concerned, and we are on a quest to inform, educate, and give credible information and training as it relates to diabetes awareness.
Lando says a major health and wellness fair on Saturday is amongst activities in commemoration of World Diabetes Day.
Tomorrow, Friday, we're having a sidewalk health screening that is right outside of All Saints University. That is tomorrow morning. We're having this activity. On Saturday, we are having a major health and wellness fair in Portsmouth at Jolly's Pharmacy in Portsmouth. That is in collaboration with the Canadian American University of Medicine School. And on Sunday, we are having our diabetes health walk. That is Sunday afternoon. That walk will begin at the St. Alphonsus Catholic Church parking lot. It will begin right there and will proceed throughout Roseau. And so we expect as many people to come out wearing blue. This is the official color for diabetes, wearing blue, and coming on and really show your solidarity and be empowered and be united to fight against diabetes.
And that was Vice President of the Dominica Diabetes Association, Carlton Lando. And Dominica's new attorney at law has promised to serve with integrity and assist the less fortunate. Andis Thomas of Portsmouth is a former winner of the DBS Christmas Song Contest and was called to the bar during a ceremony at the High Court this morning.
I will uphold the high ethical standards expected of an attorney at law, not only to my clients, but to the court and to fellow counsel. I will work with integrity and dignity and serve with diligence. I will offer my assistance in any way possible toward the advancement and development of our laws, and in particular public law where required. I will look out for the less fortunate who deserve legal representation, and I will do my part where possible to help them when they need representation. I will continue to promote and actuate community development and unity. My Lord, I wish to be practical in my method of contributing to the development of the legal fraternity in Dominica. And one of the most practical steps, in my opinion, would be to become an active member of the Dominica Bar Association. I say to other young people, and anyone who may need to hear it, that with God, with focus, and something that is very important and forgotten by most, a positive attitude, a positive mindset, success is possible. Do not cast your dreams aside.
And that was Attorney at Law Andis Thomas. Meantime, Solicitor General at the Office of the Attorney General, Tamika Hyacinth Burton, has described the new attorney as a well-rounded individual.
She is a graduate of the Convent High School and the Dominica State College. Ms. Thomas has a passion for arts, and from a young age, she began participating in numerous song competitions, even capturing the winning spot in the Dominica Broadcasting Service Christmas Song Competition with her composition, Feliz Navidad. So as my Lord will see, Ms. Thomas is a very multi-talented young lady. During her years at the Dominica State College, she developed her leadership skills by serving as a student body president. Ms. Thomas has also had invaluable working experience. Following her completion of the LLB degree, she served as a customer service representative at the National Bank of Dominica and was then promoted to a credit sales officer before leaving to complete her legal career. Ms. Thomas was an active student during her time at the Hewden Law School and aimed at balancing her studies with participation in extracurricular activities. During her first year, she traveled to the Bahamas as part of the team representing the Hewden Law School at the Interschool Lex Caribbean Regional Client Interviewing Competition, where she served the role of senior counsel. During her second year of law school, Ms. Thomas was again selected as part of the team to represent the law school at the annual Caribbean Court of Justice mooting competition. So my Lord will see that Ms. Thomas comes even before she's admitted to the bar. She has exhibited skills of both a good solicitor and a good barrister.
And that was Solicitor General in the Office of the Attorney General, Tamika Hyacinth Burton. Meantime, executive member of the Dominica Bar Association, Carlita Benjamin, has told the young attorney that she will be required to be responsible in the practice of law.
And you now stand among the ranks of a profession that holds a profound responsibility in society to uphold justice, to safeguard rights, and to serve the public with integrity and dedication. Now, as you embark on this path, remember that the role of an attorney extends far beyond the courtroom. It demands not only skill and intellect, but also empathy, resilience, to say the least, and a constant pursuit of knowledge, and that's both legal knowledge and an understanding of the society that you practice in. In our fraternity, you'll find a camaraderie and support in some places, and in others, you will find shared experiences of the challenges and the triumphs that come with practicing law. Seek wisdom from those who have walked this path before you. I am in my 10th year of practice now, and I must be grateful to those who I could call or email or WhatsApp to vet my legal and personal challenges at times, whether it be the Attorney General's Chambers, Registry's Office, or Senior Counsel themselves here. Therefore, my dear colleague, Ms. Thomas, you must contribute to our collective growth as a bar. For you represent us, and we, of course, we represent you. And I'm employing you to join the Dominica Bar Association.
And that was executive member of the Dominica Bar Association, Carlita Benjamin. And the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy will host an educational discussion with students of the Newtown Primary, St. Luke's Primary and the Soufriere Primary tomorrow. The discussion forms part of the week of activities to commemorate World Fisheries Day on November 21, 2024. Communication Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries is Petra Grell-Shillingford.
Annually, the Fisheries Division, that's a unit within the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, joins the rest of the world in observation of World Fisheries Day. This day will be on November 21, that is next week Thursday. However, leading up to this special day, we are having a number of activities, both youth and student-based, and of course those in the rural spaces where fishing is paramount and is seen as a livelihood for many of our men and women. So tomorrow at the Coral Nursery in Soufriere, along with the Soufriere Scotted Marine Reserve, that's the SSMR, a project that is being undertaken by GIZ and normally works in close collaboration with the Ministry and the Fisheries Division, will be hosting 3 schools, the Soufriere Primary, the St. Luke's Primary, and the Newtown Primary, to just show students what it takes to really have sustainable fishing done and how this can be a career choice and not as something that we see as a side or part-time job. And then Fisheries Day, which will be next week, as I mentioned previously, we will be collaborating with the Dominica State College. We'll have a trivia. On that day also, we will hear an address from the Honorable Minister for Fisheries, Honorable Julian Defoe, as is customary. And, of course, a number of other schools around the island and groups will be participating in fisheries-based activities.
And that was Communication Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Petra Grell-Shillingford. And Marketing and Communications Officer at the Dominica State College, Kimberly Benjamin, says students interested in pursuing higher education at the college in the new year are encouraged to apply. This as the Dominica State College has opened its application window for the January 2025 semester. Benjamin says this is an opportunity for individuals looking to start or continue their academic journey at the Dominica's premier higher education institution.
The Dominica State College is pleased to announce that we will accept applications for the January 2025 semester from November 15, 2024 and will close on December 19, 2024. Prospective students interested in pursuing higher education at the college are encouraged to submit their applications within this window. To apply, applicants can visit the college's official website or the admissions office for detailed instructions and to access the online application portal. This is an excellent opportunity for those looking to start or continue their academic journey at Dominica's premier higher education institution. For further information, please contact the admissions office at 440-4941 extension 8106 or visit the college's website at dsc.edu.dm. Don't miss out on your chance to be part of the January 2025 cohort at the Dominica State College.
And that was Marketing and Communications Officer at the Dominica State College, Kimberly Benjamin. And on the feature segment of the DBS Evening News, we follow the progress of a talented youth of Portsmouth who has emerged as Dominica's new attorney at law. Andis Thomas has won many competitions, including the DBS Christmas Song Contest. Today, she was admitted to the Dominica Bar. Young attorney Andis Thomas is our feature on the DBS Evening News.
Okay, so I went to primary school, St. John's Primary School. I then went to the Convent High School. From there, I attended the Dominica State College, and after that, I attended the Huddersfield University, where I attained my bachelor's degree in law, and from there, the Hewwood Law School in Trinidad, which brought me to this place today to attain the LEC.
At what point in your life you felt that you wanted to become a lawyer, and why?
To be honest, I think that I've always had an interest in debating, in arguing, in putting forward an argument, getting points to support the argument. I was always interested in solving problems. And I would say that from a very early age, I maybe cannot give you the exact age, but from a very early age, I was interested in becoming an attorney at law.
What would be some of these things that you would like to achieve as a young lawyer in Dominica?
Well, I'm still wetting my foot right now in the legal environment, I would say. However, I can speak on the fact that I am interested in developing the laws of Dominica, making them more simplified so that even the layperson will be able to understand, developing areas that need to be developed. And I would say also that I plan on participating or being part of the Bar Association so that we can develop the legal fraternity in Dominica.
Final words to young people in Dominica, young people like yourself and people in Dominica on a whole. What would be your message to them now?
I would say remain positive, put God first. Nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it. If you focus, steer your ship in the right direction, and nothing is impossible. Do not forget your dreams. Do not let challenges limit you, because challenges can be learning experiences that will help you to become that greater person someday in life.
And that was attorney at law Andis Thomas, taking us to the end of this evening's feature segment and National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
Christmas in this year. Can I have this?
We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you want.
More gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, win weekly prices up to $10,000 in cash. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a broadband plan. We Christmasin with free groceries from Flow, plus a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmasing. More gifts with Flow.
DBS News.
And welcome back. In the news from the region, amid Haiti's ongoing humanitarian crisis and escalating violence, both government and opposition senators in the Dominican Republic have expressed opposition to a complete border closure with the neighboring country that shares the island of Hispaniola. Instead, they are advocating for increased controls to prevent the illegal entry of Haitian migrants. In response, the Dominican President Luis Abinada earlier this year has increased patrols along the border over concerns of Haitian migrant influx. He also announced plans to build a 108-mile-long wall. And internationally, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is named Donald Trump's pick for Health and Human Services Secretary. Trump has been selecting his top team since winning the U.S. election last week, as his party is projected to win the House of Representatives, meaning the Republicans would run the White House and all of Congress. Earlier, Senator Dick Durbin, the sitting chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, asked for the findings of a report into Matt Gaetz, Trump's controversial pick for Attorney General, to be published. Earlier, Senator Dick Durbin, the sitting chairman of the Senate Judiciary, also ensured that published was one that was expedited. This brings us to the end of this evening's news. Up next is sports.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
And first off in our evening sports here for Thursday, November 14th, Australia picked up a 29-run win over Pakistan in their first T20 International Series in Brisbane today. After persistent rain and lightning delayed the start by nearly 3 hours, the match was reduced to 7 overs aside. Glenn Maxwell, who struggled in the preceding ODI series, blasted his way for the innings with 43 of 19 to take Australia to 93 for 4. Marcus Stoinis added 21. Abbas Afridi took 2 for 9. In response, Pakistan collapsed to 24 for 6 in the first 4 overs before finishing with 64 for 9. Xavier Bartlett had figures of 3 for 13 and Nathan Ellis 3 for 9. And national midfielder Malachi Bonney is hoping to put his best foot forward if given the chance, as Dominica gets set for its final set of matches in the CONCACAF Nations League this weekend. Dominica plays the Dominican Republic on Saturday at 7 p.m. and Antigua next Tuesday as they look to remain in League B. The Middleham United midfielder, who made his debut start for the team in the last round of matches against Bermuda, says he's looking to do what he can to help the team.
Well, the preparations have been quite intense and the players are in good spirit. I sure will go outside there and give something.
All right, 2 big games coming up, Malachi, Dominican Republic and Antigua. Your thoughts heading into these 2 big games?
Well, it's a do or die. We go outside there, we play with our heart. It's always an honor to play for our country. We always have to go outside there and push everything for this country.
All right, and you were able to make your debut start in the last game against Bermuda. Just talk to me as to what was that experience like?
For me, it was a good debut. I was really happy. I was really shocked when I hear my name on the starting lineup. But I worked for that and I get my reward, and I just have to go outside there and continue showing what I can do in order for me to stay in the starting lineup.
All right, so mentally, Malachi, how are you guys heading into these 2 big games coming up? I know you said it's do or die. Essentially, we need some points if we are to stay in League B.
Of course, we understand the magnitude of these 2 games. These 2 games is games we must go outside there and prove something and show people that we can play football as well. It's not just the other team. Although they are a bit stronger than us, I would say, Dominican Republic, but we will go outside there and put our best foot forward.
And that was the national midfielder Malachi Bonney. And the sports division has named some 29 cricketers to begin training as Dominica looks to defend its Windward Islands Under-15 cricket title in Grenada in December. The training camp got underway at the Windsor Park this afternoon as Dominica looks to repeat as champions. Akel Roll, Elon Pascal, Kimron Peters and Jaden Caesar have been selected from the Dominica Grammar School. Representing the SMA are Gillan Bruno, Lionel Lando, Malik Coffey and Devante James. From the Goodwill Secondary School, Zael Joseph and Jindel Regis. From the PCSS, Trevor Henry and Darren Ellick. And from the NECS, Sanine Davis, Kellan Christmas and Dante Benjamin. Whilst Malachi Paul Jaquan Latil, Darwin Lewis, and Zayden Cornelius have been selected from PSS. Representing the Castle Bruce secondary are Dylan John, Vince Daru, Drente Auguste, Dejuan Benjamin, Dylan Joseph, Jaquan Williams, Randy Burkett, Jared Fontaine, Ranji John Baptist, and Joshawn Joseph. Into some football news here. FIFA regional consultant Ian Greenwood believes the introduction of a FIFA talent coach in Dominica will do wonders for the sport. FIFA talent coach Ross Polly is set to take up the position in Dominica in January 2025. The Dominica Football Association has been selected as one of the first 25 countries worldwide for FIFA's talent coach initiative. That's part of the FIFA talent development scheme.
So I'll work with the DFA in terms of how we can create the full structure from grassroots, from youth development programs, from domestic competitions, women's programs, coach education. Obviously within the region there's a lot of challenges. So in Dominica, geography is a difficult challenge, getting players from A to B, being able to have grounds to develop these players on. FIFA's been doing a great job in supporting the DFA, especially with the technical centre here. But the reality is that we have to find creative ways to use the small spaces that we have to be able to put on opportunities, put on sessions for players to come and develop. So we can talk all day about the different challenges, especially in the Caribbean region. But then how can we create solutions to be able to drive? If we started looking at a few other sports, so if we look at track and field, athletics, how the region does in the Olympics, how the region does in cricket, we've got tremendous athletes here within the region. So it's looking at how can we create the best systems that might work within this country. So we can look globally at maybe what happens in North America, what happens in Europe, what happens in Asia. And there's elements from there that we can take as best practice and bring in. Obviously, we can't copy and paste. We have to develop things for the reality that we have here. But I guess in essence, it's how can we make sure that we create opportunities in the different communities for boys and girls to be able to come out and play the beautiful game. Then from there, how can we impact the coaches or the teachers that are working with those players and give them some guidance on how they can make best use of that time.
And that was FIFA's regional consultant Ian Greenwood. And Dominica's top special athletes will be on show at the Special Olympics National Games, which takes place on Sunday at the Lindo Park. Special Olympics Director Ainsworth Irish says over 30 athletes are expected to take part at the Games.
Special Olympics National Games itself is slated for Sunday, 17th November, starting from 10 o'clock at the Lindo Park facility in Goodwill. This is the first time in 25 years that the Special Olympics will be hosting the Games at the Lindo Park, and we can only hope that many patrons as possible will turn out and come and see our special athletes on the field of play. Of course, we expect the Honorable Miriam Blanchard to give a brief address at the opening ceremony. And of course, the Minister of Sports, Mr. Oscar George, has already consented to be present at the opening ceremony. Mr. Brendan Williams, the President of the Dominica Athletics Association, will be our celebrity. He will declare the games open, and of course, we expect all the dignitaries to be in attendance. So, it's our 25th Special Olympics National Games. We expect some 30 athletes to be on parade as the lighted torch will grace the presence there at the Games with a short little walk into the park. And certainly we expect it to be something to remember.
And that was a Special Olympics Director Ainsworth Irish taking us to the end of this evening's News and Sports. A special thanks to the DBS News and Sports team and the Link personnel, DJ Hilleboy. Oh, by the way, we have a quick update here on some sports news here as Captain Rovman Powell and Romario Shepherd were leading a fight back for West Indies after the Caribbean team fell into trouble at 37 for 5 in the third T20 against England in St. Lucia. Powell is on 53, and Shepherd has just gone for 30 in the West Indies score for 110 for 7 and 15.5 overs. Earlier, Evan Lewis made 3, Shea Hope 4, Nicholas Paran 7, and Shimron Hetmeyer for 2. Scores: West Indies are 110 for 6 and 15 overs. They trailed 2-0 in the 5-match series. Well, of course, this story here bringing us to the end of this evening's news and sports. And again, special thanks to the DBS News and Sports team, and DJ Halo Boy has been our link personnel.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 14th day of November 2024. We begin with the evening edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements. We announce the death of Martha Evelyn Moses, better known as Evelyn Thomas or Evo, and Tom Tom, age 64, of 1A Citronnier. She died on Saturday, the 9th of November at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. The funeral arrangements of the late Martha Evelyn Moses, better known as Evelyn Thomas or Evo, and Tom Tom of 1A Citronnier will be given in a subsequent announcement. We announce the death of Mr. Elman Parilon, age 66, of Corliho. He died on Tuesday, the 29th of October. He will be remembered by his 6 step-grandchildren, John Robinson, Alex, better known as Cece, Miller, Victoria, and Evans, 1 step-son-in-law, Elvis, 9 step-children, including Ashanti, Martina, Vikel, Giselle, and Kylie, 3 sisters, Bernadette, Katie, and Paula, 2 brothers, Norman and Atlee, 1 aunt-in-law, Virginia Sebastian, 5 brothers-in-law, Roy, Fortuné, Newton, Adolphus, Donnelly, and Randolph, 4 sisters-in-law, Ethelina, Edithia, Erica, and Minette, 1 godchild, Zaya, numerous nieces and nephews including Marie, Trudy, Josiane, Leon, Augustus, Whitney, Gandhi, Emily, Desan, Keishon, Kiama, Kay, Johanna, Mindy, Daisy, Urban, and Ferdinand. Special friend Sarah. Close friends Yvette, Riviere, Porter, Tony, Peter, and Lucky. Close neighbors Veronica, Velma and family, Clyde and Monson. Numerous relatives and friends including the parliamentary representative of Corliho, Honorable Darren Pinard, Ross, Angie and family, Gemma, Martin, Philia, and Matthew George. Members of the Corliho Gospel Mission Church, especially Pastor George and Cordelia. Nurses of the Corliho Health Center, especially Nurse Daru. Doctors and nurses of the Alfred Warren of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, especially Dr. Abel, Moise, and Ferrara, his dedicated caregiver and stepdaughter, Alex, the entire communities of Corliho and Dublin as well. The body of the late Mr. Elman Parilon of Corliho can be viewed on Friday, the 15th of November from 2:30 p.m. at the Corliho Gospel Mission Church. The funeral service takes place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Gospel Mission Cemetery at Ascola. We announce the death of Hippolyte Carbon, better known as Popo, age 86, of Buetica. He was a former police officer and a former port security of Dasper. He died on Wednesday, the 6th of November, at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. He was the father of Andrew, Cuthbert, Jefferson, Ethelene, and Andy Carbon, Edith Ito, and Janita Harrigan. He will also be remembered by his stepdaughter, Philippa Daniel, sister, Rose Saint-Jean, brother, Jonas Carbon, grandchildren, Carmisha, Arnell, Shane, Liz, his caregiver, Jemima, Josiah, Shania, Shireen, and Sydney Carbon, also Brandon Benjamin, Brittany and Brian Timothy, Eliana Langford, and Jalen and Jaden Harrigan. Step-grandchildren, Yuvanka, Kalinda, Lee, and Danfield Daniel. Great-grandchildren, Tristan Massicot, Servana, Rael, and Okaya Timothy. Son-in-law, Leon Harrigan. Daughters-in-law, Sandra, Philistine Carbon as well. A brother-in-law and best friend, Harvey Seja. Sisters-in-law, Palestina and Marilia Carbon. Godchild, Valerie Edwards. Nephews, John Baptiste Bobom, Eddie, Jules, Felician and Mark Seja. Hagan, Eric, James, Erico, Raphael, Frederick, Dorian, Frank, Johnson, Cameron, Adrian, Renee, Nigel and Darius Carbon. Martin, Augustine, David and Peter Sorrento and their families. Nieces, Donna, Douglas, Ferelia Dupy, Clevelia, Melanie, Donna, Primrose, Pamela, Angela, Andrina, Celsa, Annette, Nerissa, Nadesh, Nora, Nelfa, Chanel, Misha, Christina, Joyce, Sandra, Alex, Rose, Roslyn, Ramona and Daphne, and Jasmine, Christian and their families. Close friends, Magnus and Starry Williams and the members of the Buetica Baptist Church, Pastor David Serra and the members of the Deliverance Baptist Church, Joyce, Monica, Paulina, Bernadine, Flavia and Jacqueline, also Melcha and Ivinia Joseph, Dr. and Mrs. St. Luce, Sabitri Singh in Guyana, Rosa Emmanuel and family, Jane Dangleben, Grace Popo and family, Stephanie Hendricks, Johnson, Leroy Williams and their families, Roy Neverson, John Simon, Sandra Kazimi, Francis Vidal, Eustace Humphreys and Jefferson Casey, former work colleagues at DASPA as well. Many grandnieces and nephews, relatives and friends both here and abroad, names too numerous to mention. The communities of Buetica, Delis and La Plaine, the extended Carbon family in Dominica, and also the Joseph, Lando and Barry families. The body of the late Hippolyte Carbon, better known as Popo of Buetica, can be viewed from 1:30 p.m. on Friday, the 15th of November at the Buetica Baptist Church. The funeral service takes place at 2 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Fort Thoma Public Cemetery in Delis. We announce the death of Kathleen Winston Saint-Jean, better known as Donna, age 51, of Trafalgar. She died on Tuesday, the 5th of November. She was the wife of McLean Saint-Jean. She was the daughter of Marina Moranci. She was the mother of Marguella and Nakia Saint-Jean. She will also be remembered by her brothers Jefferson and Garfield Roll, Naya, Kenny, and Saber Winston. Her sisters Eleonora, Nasha, Eugenia, and Eileena Winston. Other relatives and friends names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Kathleen Winston Saint-Jean, better known as Donna of Trafalgar, can be viewed from 2:30 p.m. on Friday, the 22nd of November, at the St. Alphonsus Catholic Church. The funeral mass takes place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Roseau Catholic Cemetery. We announce the death of Armand Carlton, better known as Ernest, and Dombwe, age 89, of Wind Valley, Marigot. He was a member of the Methodist Church. He died on Thursday, the 17th of October. He was the father of Gwyneth and Charlene Carlton and Clem Jones. He will also be remembered by his sister Irene Abraham, numerous brothers, granddaughter Fernella Adams, great-grandchild or children Emma and Eliza Adams, grandson-in-law Reginald Adams, nieces Sandra, Joyce and Veronica, nephews Dr. David Johnson and Tyson Johnson, grandnephew Don Gordon, caregiver Juliana, the Carlton, Johnson, Gordon, Jones, Seraphine and Victor families, and other names too numerous to mention. The funeral service of the late Armand Carlton, better known as Ernest and Domway of Wind Valley Marigot, will take place at 3 p.m. on Friday, the 15th of November at the Zion Methodist Church in Marigot, and will be followed by interment at the Methodist Cemetery in Marigot. We announce the death of Gerald James, better known as Teacher James, age 94 of Dailies. He died on Tuesday, the 15th of October at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. He was the father of Tony, Malcolm, and Lester James. He will also be remembered by his grandchildren, Kelly and Justin James, his great-grandchildren, Jada King James, his caregivers, Antonia Antwine, and her son, Neo Moses. The body of the late Gerald James, better known as Teacher James of Dailies, will be transported from the Lyndhurst Funeral Home for viewing from 2:30 p.m. on Monday, the 18th of November, at the Roseau Cathedral Church. The funeral mass will take place at 3 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Roseau Catholic Cemetery. The management and staff of DBS Radio, the nation station, extends deepest condolences to the families of the late Martha Evelyn Moses of 1A Citronier, also to the families of the late Mr. Elman Parilon of Qualiho, also to the families of the late Mr. Hippolyte Carbon of Boitica. We also extend deepest condolences to the family of the late Kathleen Winston Saint-Jean, better known as Donna of Trafalgar. Also extend deepest condolences to the family of the late Armand Carlton, better known as Ernest or Domboy of Wind Valley Marigot. And finally, the nation station DBS Radio extends deepest condolences to the family of the late Gerald James, better known as Teacher James of Dailies.
And now, your community bulletin board.
We head straight into the general announcements on this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. Duasco informs customers in Mayrow, London Road and Cuba Road that their water supply will be interrupted from 8 p.m. tonight, Thursday, the 14th of November, to 5 a.m. tomorrow, Friday, the 15th of November, for the purpose of carrying out system maintenance. Duasco sincerely apologizes for this interruption and regrets any inconvenience that may arise as a result. Duasco thanks its customers and the general public for your cooperation and understanding in this matter. Domlec wishes to inform its customers in Trafalgar, Shawford, Wharton Waven, Bayak, Fontcany, Louisville, Silver Lake, Upper Bath Estate, Casso, Mont Prosper and Coptall that their electricity supply will be interrupted on Sunday, the 17th of November, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. This interruption is necessary to allow Domlec to carry out annual bus bar maintenance activities at the Padu Power Station. Additional information is available on their website at www.domlec.dm under scheduled outages. Domlec appreciates your understanding in this matter and regrets any inconvenience caused. We go back to an announcement from Dowasco. So we go back to Dowasco. Dowasco informs customers in Warner that the unscheduled interruption in their water supply from Wednesday the 13th of November is as a result of electronic component malfunction at the pump station. Customers are advised that work is underway to resolve the issue and restore service as soon as possible. Dowasco regrets the inconvenience and thanks customers for their patience and understanding in this matter. A memorial service for the late Darnell Shillingford Jr. of Massac, who died in New York on the 7th of October and was buried in New York, will be held at the Roseau Cathedral Chapel, Turkey Lane, Roseau, on Friday, the 15th of November at 4 p.m. Family, friends, former SMA schoolmates, and colleagues are all invited. All people with confirmed bookings for the Dominica Public Service Union DPSU conference rooms are asked to contact the office immediately at telephone numbers 448-2101, 448-2102, or 612-0191. The Dominica Cooperative Societies League, so the Dominica Cooperative Societies League Limited, wishes to inform that effective immediately, all non-profit organizations are required to be registered with the Financial Services Unit no later than November 15th, 2024. Examples of non-profit organizations include clubs, associations, private schools, social groups, fraternities, and political organizations. To register your NPO, please visit the Financial Services Unit located on the 5th floor of the Financial Center. You may also contact the FSU at 266-3514 or 266-3559. Registration forms and guidelines will be provided by the unit. Please walk with a valid picture ID. The Independent Regulatory Commission, IRC, invites the public to its hybrid public consultation on DOMLEC's capital investment plan and revenue requirement. This is as part of the electricity rate review. The consultation meeting takes place on Tuesday, the 19th of November at the Prevost Cinemas Executive Meeting Room between 3:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can also join the Zoom platform. Get the meeting link on the IRC's website, www.ircdominica.org, and the IRC's social media pages. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica has received financing from the World Bank towards the implementation of the Emergency Agricultural Livelihoods and Climate Resilience Project and intends to apply part of the proceeds towards payments for the design and build of the rehabilitation/construction of boat slipways. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economies now invites proposals to complete rehabilitation works to the boat slipways at Soufriere, Stowe, and Saint-Sauveur. The detailed specific procurement notice can be obtained from the Emergency Agricultural Livelihoods and Climate Resilience Project website at ht